Relax now. Take a slow, deep breath. And let it drift out again. Feel the weight of your body settling down, the softness beneath you, holding you in complete comfort. Allow the air around you to feel calm, cool, and safe. Each breath you take slows the rhythm of your thoughts. Each moment that passes draws you deeper into stillness. Your eyelids may feel a little heavier now. Your jaw loosens. Your shoulders melt into release. Let yourself arrive here, in this quiet place, where imagination becomes a gentle world to wander in. Our story tonight begins at dusk, in the center of an old village, where the market is slowly coming to rest. The bright chatter of day has faded, leaving only a soft hum. Stalls that once overflowed with voices, laughter, bargaining, and clinking coins now stand quieter, touched by the orange glow of torches flickering in the square. The light dances across cobblestones, casting long, slow shadows as if the town itself is yawning, preparing for its nightly slumber. The air carries with it faint scents, a trace of baked bread still warm, the sweetness of dried figs, the earthy comfort of herbs and spice lingering in the cool breeze. Merchant carefully closes the shutters of his stall, wooden panels creaking gently, then snapping shut with a soft click. Another ties down a canvas awning, the fabric brushing softly against wood, like a lullaby whispered into the square. You walk slowly across the cobblestones, your footsteps echoing in the quiet, joined by the occasional sound of others. Villagers moving homeward, their baskets lighter now, their hands free. Once medieval markets like this were not only for goods, but also for news. Stories traveled with merchants from faraway lands, rumors carried in whispers, laughter shared in moments of connection. And now, as the market winds down, the echo of those stories lingers in the evening air, gently drifting like the last smoke of a candle. The torches flicker again, their flames swaying in the light breeze. The sound is soft, almost like a crackling hearth, a promise of warmth and safety. You pause to listen. The shutters closing, the footsteps fading, the hush settling in the square. Each sound carries you further into peace, further into calm, further into rest. As you linger in the square, notice how the evening deepens. The sky above is no longer the bright blue of day, but a canvas brushed with twilight. Hues of violet and indigo gather softly at the edges, while the last golden streaks of sun fade gently into memory. A single star appears, faint yet steady, keeping watch over the quieting town. The square feels alive, yet hushed. The cobblestones beneath your feet are cool now, touched by the breath of evening. Each step you take is met with the soft tap of leather against stone, echoing in the emptying marketplace. These sounds feel unhurried, almost like the town itself is guiding you to slow down, to release the rush of the day. Nearby, a baker slides the last loaves into his basket, carrying them home to his family. The smell drifts toward, warm, yeasty, comforting, as though you yourself are being invited to rest at a simple wooden table beside a glowing hearth. You imagine the firelight flickering, the crackle of kindling, the soft murmur of voices at supper, all blending into a song of peace. Further along, an old woman gathers dried lavender bundles from her stall, the stems rustling together with a soothing, papery sound. She hums quietly to herself, her tune gentle, steady, and low. The melody rises and falls like waves lapping against a shore. You pause, listening, letting the music settle into your chest, easing your breath. The torches that line the square sway again, their flames bending with the whisper of the breeze. The air carries a faint chill now, wrapping around you, but never sharp, only refreshing, like cool linen sheets brushed against your skin. In the distance, a wooden door closes softly, followed by the faint padding of footsteps retreating into narrow lanes. One by one, shutters are drawn across windows, their hinges groaning faintly, their latches clicking gently. The village prepares for rest, and so too do you. Each sound is part of a lullaby, the creak of wood, the shuffle of shoes, the murmur of voices fading. All together they weave a tapestry of calm, guiding your body to loosen further, your breath to deepen, your mind to soften into stillness. You walk slowly through the square, and the rhythm of your footsteps blends with the hush of the evening. Each step feels unhurried, as though the cobblestones themselves are inviting you to pause, to notice, to breathe. The air carries with it the faint scent of smoke from a distant chimney, rising in delicate wisps into the twilight sky. A merchant rolls down the fabric covering of his stall. The canvas sighs as it folds, the sound like a soft exhale, gentle and calming. The ropes slide through his fingers with a muted rasp, and when the final knot is tied, the stall rests quiet and still, as if asleep. You realize that the marketplace itself seems to drift into slumber, each stall closing like eyes, each torch swaying like the breath of someone at rest. In medieval times, a marketplace at dusk would have been more than a scene of commerce. It was a gathering of stories. Travelers brought word of distant villages, of kings and battles, of harvests and seasons. The square was as much a place of voices as it was of trade. Even now, as silence grows, you can almost sense the echoes of those voices, lingering like the aftertone of a bell, still resonant in the stones beneath your feet. A cat darts across the square, its paws whispering against the cobbles, its tail a fleeting shadow in the flickering firelight. It pauses near a stall, then slips into an alleyway, vanishing as quietly as it came. The stillness returns, deeper this time, like a blanket being drawn over the town. The torches flicker once more, casting golden halos that dance upon shuttered windows. Shadows stretch and sway, moving in slow rhythm with the light. You watch as they lean across stone walls, soft and elongated, as if bowing before the night. The sound of a single bell rings out faintly in the distance, its tone low, resonant, drifting through the air like a gentle reminder that evening has fully arrived. Your body feels this same rhythm, the slow flicker, the lingering tone, the quiet closing of the day. Each moment invites you deeper into rest, into ease, into the peace that night brings. The marketplace, once alive with motion, is now a cradle of calm, holding you within its embrace. The marketplace seems to breathe with you now, its silence and softness becoming part of your own rhythm. Every sound, no matter how faint, feels magnified against the quiet. The tap of a wooden latch, the sigh of a shutter swinging closed, the rustle of fabric being folded, each note arrives gently, like the plucking of strings on a distant harp. A faint breeze moves through the square, carrying with it the coolness of evening. You can feel it brush lightly across your cheeks, as though the night itself is welcoming you. The breeze stirs the edges of banners still hanging from a stall. Their cloth flutters softly, a hushed sound like whispers shared between old friends. The movement is tender, patient, and it adds to the lull of the moment. From a nearby lane, footsteps echo slow, deliberate, unhurried. They belong to a villager making their way home, perhaps carrying a basket with the last of the day's goods. The sound grows faint as they walk farther, their steps fading into the distance. What remains is the silence of the square once more, punctuated only by the crackle of torch flames swaying gently in the night air. You pause near one of the stalls and run your hand along the wood. It is smooth, worn down by years of use, by countless hands placing goods and coins upon it. The history is alive in the grain, in the edges, in the way it seems to remember. This too was part of medieval life. Markets were not just for buying and selling, but for gathering, for sharing news, for weaving together the threads of a community. You can almost feel the hum of those stories as you linger there, like faint vibrations resting in the wood itself. Overhead, more stars appear, their faint twinkles shimmering in the deepening sky. They glisten as if scattered by a gentle hand across velvet. The first thin sliver of a moon rises, its glow soft and pale, casting another layer of calm over the square. With every passing moment, night folds itself deeper into the town, and the marketplace drifts further into stillness. Your own breath follows suit, slower, quieter, steadier, like the rhythm of torches flickering, like the whisper of shutters closing, like the timeless calm of cobblestones beneath a quiet sky. The square is now wrapped in a kind of twilight hush, the kind that seems to soften every edge, every sound. Even the cobblestones beneath your feet seem quieter, absorbing the echoes rather than returning them. Each breath of the night becomes part of a melodious song without words, woven from flickering firelight, cooling air, and the faint murmur of distant voices settling into homes. A blacksmith passes by, his apron folded over one shoulder, his boots heavy on the stones. In his hand, he carries a lantern that sways with his step, the glow spilling in small golden circles before him. The flame inside crackles faintly, and with every step the light shifts, throwing playful shadows across walls and shutters. He disappears down a narrow alley, his lantern's glow fading like a star slipping beneath the horizon. The stalls now look like sleeping sentinels, each closed and silent, but not abandoned. They hold a stillness that feels safe, as though the square itself watches over them until dawn comes again. A faint smell of spice still lingers in the air: cinnamon, pepper. Cloves are remnants of the day's trade that now mingle with the crispness of evening. From above, the sound of a wooden shutter closing reaches your ears. It swings once, then twice, before settling with a soft thud. The noise is neither startling nor harsh, it is soothing, part of the nightly rhythm, like the final notes of a song played gently to its end. In medieval villages, such sounds were signals of safety. They told neighbors that the day was done, that hearths were being lit, that families were gathering, that all was well. Somewhere nearby, a sheep bell jingles faintly, perhaps an animal being guided into a pen. Its chime is delicate, like a silver thread of sound woven into the fabric of dusk. The bell rings once more, then fades into silence, leaving only the sigh of wind weaving between rooftops. The torches in the square continue their flickering vigil. Their flames bow and dance, bending to the evening breeze. They do not resist. They move with the air, graceful and fluid. Watching them is like watching the rhythm of your own breath, rising, falling, steady, calm. The market has exhaled, and so too do you, settling deeper into its timeless, peaceful night. The square feels almost like a sanctuary now, bathed in torchlight and silence. Each flame trembles gently, casting pools of warmth onto the cobblestones, where the shadows of stalls stretch long and soft. The once busy marketplace has become something different, no longer a place of trade, but a cradle of stillness, a quiet chamber beneath the open sky. You pause near the fountain again, hearing the trickle of water as though it speaks directly to you. Each drop seems slower than the last, each ripple spreading wider in the stone basin, its glow catching the faint shimmer of moonlight. The sound is constant, yet never hurried, a rhythm that calms and soothes. As you listen, you notice your own breath moving with that rhythm, slow and deep, in harmony with the night. Somewhere nearby, a door closes with a muffled thud, followed by the faint murmur of voices inside. The sound is muted, softened by the thick stone walls, like a lullaby sung through layers of cloth. You picture a family gathered around a table, their meal complete, their laughter dissolving into warmth and comfort. That image alone brings you ease, knowing that within these walls, lives are resting, hearts are calm, and the world is safe for the night. An owl calls from beyond the rooftops, its low hoot rolling through the air in gentle waves. The sound lingers, resonant and deep, before fading into silence again. It feels like a guardian's voice, watching over the town, marking the night as its own. The air has grown cooler now, brushing against your skin with a freshness that feels almost like a whisper. It moves through the square softly, weaving through shuttered stalls and between torch flames, carrying the faint perfume of herbs that still linger in the air: sage, rosemary, thyme, scents that comfort the spirit as much as the body. A final villager crosses the square, their footsteps echoing softly against the stones. Their lantern glows, bobbing gently with each stride. You watch as they move down a narrow street, their light shrinking until it disappears into the dark. Once again, the square is yours alone, wrapped in the calm of night. And in this stillness, you feel yourself drawn deeper into rest, as if the marketplace itself is cradling you, guiding you towards sleep. The torches sway gently, their light dancing across the stone walls, painting them with golden waves that shimmer and fade. Flicker feels alive, as though the fire is breathing slowly, patiently, content to keep watch over the square until morning. The flames crackle faintly, sending tiny sparks upward, their glow vanishing into the cool night air. You stroll across the cobblestones, your steps soft and unhurried. The stones feel cool beneath your feet, and you notice the faint unevenness where centuries of footsteps have passed before you. These stones hold memory of merchants calling out their wares, of children laughing as they dart between stalls, of neighbors sharing news and stories as coins clinked into hands. Now, the square remembers only silence, and it offers you that silence as a gift. The scent of the evening deepens, Smoke from hearth fires drifts lazily into the air, mingling with the sweetness of fruit peels discarded earlier in the day, and the faint saltiness from a fishmonger's stall long since closed. These smells do not clash. They weave together like threads in a tapestry, forming the unique fragrance of a village night, rich, warm, and grounding. From one corner, the faint squeak of a cartwheel breaks the silence. A merchant pushes his cart down a side street, its wooden frame groaning softly, the sound steady, rhythmic. The noise does not disturb the peace. It blends with it, as though the cart itself hums a low lullaby while rolling homeward. Soon the sound fades, leaving only the whisper of wind again. A gentle rustle comes from the trees just beyond the square. Their leaves stir in the breeze, brushing against each other in a soothing chorus, like the soft clap of hands muffled in cloth. The branches sway, their shadows stretching long fingers across the square. Dark shapes that move with grace and ease. Above, the stars multiply, filling the sky with their quiet brilliance. Some glow brighter than others, each one steady and constant, as though promising to watch over the world through the night. You tilt your head to take them in, letting their stillness reach you, their calm spreading through your chest like a warm, steady tide. The market is no longer simply a place, it has become a lullaby in itself. It's guiding you further into quiet, further into rest, further into dream. As you linger in the square, the hush of the night grows deeper, like a blanket being drawn gently across the land. The lanterns burn lower now, their flames swaying lazily, their glow softening with each passing breath of air. Their light no longer seems meant for bustling trade or loud voices. It feels instead like a beacon just for you, steady, guiding, and kind. A shutter closes softly nearby, its wooden frame pressed into place with a muted thud. Another follows, and another still, until the houses surrounding the square settle into a rhythm of closure. Each shudder feels like a heartbeat slow, sure, comforting. The village is putting itself to bed just as you are being invited to do the same. From a doorway, a cat slips into the square. Its paws make no sound on the cobblestones, but you notice the graceful arch of its back, the flick of its tail. The way it moves as though it belongs entirely to this world of silence and shadow. It pauses beneath a lantern, eyes catching the light for just an instant, before disappearing down an alleyway, a ghost of quiet independence. Somewhere in the distance, a dog lets out a single, soft bark, and then all is calm again. The night absorbs every sound, holding it gently, cradling it until even echoes seem to sleep. You breathe deeply, noticing the shift in the air. The warmth of the day has fully given way to the cool, crisp freshness of night. Each breath fills your chest with ease, cleansing and soothing, as though the air itself were washing away the weight of thoughts and cares. The square now feels timeless, caught between the memory of what was and the promise of what will be when morning comes. But for this moment, in this twilight hush, there is only stillness, only peace. You close your eyes for a moment, and with them closed, the sounds come alive in new ways. You hear the wind like a whisper, the crackle of a torch like the turning of a page, the distant murmur of a brook outside the village like a gentle song meant only for the night. And as you listen, you feel yourself sinking deeper, as though the square itself is rocking you gently, cradling you into dreams. Let your shoulders ease once more, and feel how the stillness of the market begins to move through you, softening you like warm cloth draped over your frame. The cobblestones, though cool, seem to pulse faintly with the memory of countless footsteps, countless stories. They hold the day's busyness, yes, but now they are at rest, and so too can you be. Our story tonight continues here in this quiet square where every detail is slowed to the rhythm of the night. Imagine yourself sitting near the fountain in the center. Its waters move in the gentlest of trickles, the kind that seems to sing without words. The sound is almost like a lullaby, ancient and familiar, the kind you might imagine travelers long ago listened to as they rested from their journeys. The torchlight reflects faintly off the fountain's surface, creating ripples of gold and silver that sway like the stars themselves have descended to drink. You find yourself mesmerized by the motion, the way the water bends light and shadow, drawing your gaze deeper, inviting you to let go of thought. A soft breeze drifts through, carrying with it the fragrance of herbs left hanging in a nearby stall. Lavender, thyme, and sage, each one subtle, each one gentle. blending together into a natural perfume that soothes the senses. In medieval markets, herbs were not only sold as food, but also treasured as medicines, as charms against ill fortune, and as gifts to bring calm to restless spirits. Tonight, they are here for you, to quiet your breath, to ease your rest. A door creaks softly open in one of the nearby houses. For a moment, you hear low voices, warm, muffled, the sound of family gathering near their hearth. Then the door closes again, and silence returns, deeper than before. It feels as though the world itself is preparing for sleep, each element gently reminding you, this is the time for peace, the time for dreams. The square is now hushed so completely that even your heartbeat feels like part of its rhythm, steady, calm, unhurried. And with each breath, you are carried further away from the concerns of the day, closer to a safe, quiet place where only rest exists. Let yourself lean further into the stillness now. The quiet of the market surrounds you like a soft blanket, and with each moment, it becomes easier to surrender, easier to drift. The air is cooler, carrying the faint scent of damp earth, as evening dew begins to gather on rooftops and stones. Even the sky seems to hush, the stars glowing steadily, unblinking, like watchful companions. Our story tonight continues as we walk slowly down one of the narrow lanes leading away from the square. The cobblestones here are uneven, but your steps are unhurried, light, gentle. A cat slips across the path ahead of you, its paws soundless, its tail curling like a ribbon, disappears into the shadows, leaving only the memory of its presence as though the night itself has claimed it. Wooden shutters above begin to close, one by one like a sequence of sighs. Each sound the creak of hinges, the quiet thud of wood adds to the symphony of settling. These houses, once alive with conversation and bargaining, are now preparing for dreams. And with them, you prepare too. In the distance, you hear the soft strike of a church bell. Not loud, not demanding. Just a single low tone that rolls across the rooftops and fades into the night. Medieval markets often lived by such bells, marking the hours, guiding the rhythms of work and rest. This one feels like a gentle reminder. The day is ended, and the night belongs to calm. You pause beneath a hanging lantern, its flame flickering in the breeze. The light wavers against the walls, casting shapes that dance like ghosts of the day-faint outlines of merchants leaning over their wares. Children darting between stalls, voices calling and answering. Yet the images fade quickly, leaving only silence, only warmth, only peace. The lantern hums faintly as its flame breathes, and the hum becomes part of your own breathing. Slow, steady, soothing. You realize that here, in this lane, there is nothing more to do, nothing more to seek. Only rest. Only the simple pleasure of being held by the night. The cobblestones beneath your feet feel cool now, holding the memory of the day's warmth, like stones that have whispered secrets back to the sun. Each step seems to slow your heartbeat, coaxing it into rhythm with the gentle hush of evening. The square behind you is almost silent, yet its presence lingers a faint glow, a softened hum. A memory of laughter folded neatly away for tomorrow. As you wander further, the air grows sweeter. Perhaps it's the last traces of honey cakes packed away, or the herbs hung above doorways, swaying gently in the breeze. The fragrance is delicate, like a lullaby sung not with words but with sense. Medieval markets often doubled as places of healing where remedies and herbs were sold alongside bread and wool. Even now, the air seems to carry the touch of healing, soothing you, as though every breath were meant to ease the day from your shoulders. Above, a single star gleams brighter than the rest, catching your gaze. For a moment, you feel as though you are not walking alone, so that the market, the square, the night itself will keep you company. Soft footsteps echo faintly, though they are your own. They sound as though someone else walks alongside you, but it is only the comfort of knowing you belong in this stillness. You pause before a closed stall, its wooden counter folded like a resting arm. On it rests a small brass bell, forgotten for the night. You imagine how in the bustle of morning, the bell will ring out, summoning customers. Marking exchanges, weaving itself into the rhythm of trade. Tonight, though, it waits silently. You lean closer, listening to its quiet presence. Even in stillness, it hums with potential, like a dream not yet told. From somewhere farther down the lane, The faint sound of shutters closing reaches you once more. Each creak, each click, is like a chapter ending in the great story of the day. And with each sound, you drift deeper into peace. The night is not empty. It is full of gentleness, full of rest, full of the promise that tomorrow will begin anew. But for now, everything can be still. The lane narrows, its walls of timber and stone leaning slightly inward, as though the houses themselves wish to whisper to one another. You walk between them, your footsteps softened by the night air, your pace unhurried. The glow of lanterns behind you fades, and in their place comes a deeper quiet and almost sacred hush that belongs only to these hours after dusk. Above, rafters stretch across like wooden ribs, and between them you glimpse ribbons of sky. Stars are scattered like tiny coins tossed upon a dark cloth. They gleam with a patient rhythm as though they too are part of the market's story. Watching silently as each day unfolds and each night gently closes, you pass a doorway where a faint light flickers from within. Perhaps a family sits around a hearth, voices hushed, the smell of warm stew drifting into the street. You imagine the crackle of firewood, the soft murmur of conversations, snippets of the day retold, laughter muted but present. These sounds do not intrude, they soothe, as though inviting you to rest in their warmth, even from afar. Further on, you notice a window left slightly open. From it comes the sound of a pipe-low, lilting notes rising like threads of smoke. Medieval shepherds once carried such simple flutes, filling the night with melodies meant to calm their flocks. Here in this narrow street, the tune feels just as tender, winding through the shadows, brushing against your thoughts. It weaves into your breathing, coaxing each inhale to lengthen, each exhale to deepen. Your fingertips brush the rough surface of the wall beside you. The stone is cool, yet steady, as if holding centuries of stories in its silence. How many footsteps have walked here before? How many voices once echoed where now only stillness remains? You feel part of this long line, not hurried, not forgotten, but carried within the rhythm of the place. Ahead, the lane opens slightly, revealing another lantern swaying gently on its iron hook. Its flame flickers as though bowing to the breeze, painting golden patches on the stones below. You pause beneath it, allowing the quiet light to settle into you, as though it too were a kind of lullaby. The night breathes around you, steady, eternal, and safe. Beneath the lantern's gentle glow, you stand still for a moment longer, listening. The night carries 1,000 tiny sounds if you let yourself hear them. The faint rustle of leaves at the edge of the square. It's a flutter of wings as a bird shifts within its roost. Even the delicate tap of the lantern chain as it sways, softly brushing the iron hook. All of these sounds fold together into a tapestry of calm, reminding you that the world is alive, even in rest. Your gaze drifts toward the cobblestones again. Shadows fall across them like ripples on water, each stone holding its own glimmer of moonlight. Walking forward, your steps become slower still, each one like the turn of a page in a book meant to be read with patience. The market's story is not rushed, it lingers, just as you linger in its embrace. In the distance, you hear the soft murmur of water. Perhaps a fountain still flows in a nearby courtyard, its steady trickle offering refreshment to the silence. Medieval markets often placed fountains or wells at their centers, not only as sources of water, but as gathering points, places where voices converged. Tonight, the fountain hums gently, its song no longer masked by chatter. Sound reaches you like a quiet promise of continuity. Day ends, night falls, but the water flows on, eternal and soothing. You turn a corner and find yourself before a row of closed stalls. Their awnings are tied down, their wooden frames folded inward. Yet even closed, they seem alive, as though sleeping rather than abandoned. One bears faint traces of herbs still clinging to its shelves. Another carries the scent of leather, sturdy and warm. Each stall, though silent now, feels like it dreams of the hands that will open it come morning. Above the stalls, shutters rest firmly against their windows, though a sliver of candlelight glows between two of them. The faint flicker moves like a heartbeat, reminding you that behind every wall, life continues in gentle rhythm. The market is never entirely still, breathes quietly, just as you breathe now. The night deepens, and with it comes a sense of timelessness, a reminder that you are part of a story older than memory. A story that welcomes you into its peace, holding you softly as the market surrenders fully to dusk. The deeper you move into the heart of the evening, the more the market feels like a dream you've stepped inside. Each detail softens, as though the world itself has taken a long exhale. The sharp lines of stalls and doorways blur into gentle outlines, touched by the silver wash of moonlight. Even your own shadow stretches and bends, becoming part of the night's tapestry. You pause near a small square, where a stone fountain sits at its center. Its basin glimmers with moonlight, water rippling in circles that seem to carry whispers. The trickling sound is calm and steady, like a lullaby played on invisible strings. You lean close enough to hear it clearly, and the rhythm begins to guide your breathing. Inhale with the rising trickle, exhale with the falling drop. Each cycle draws you deeper into stillness, as though the fountain were singing just for you. Around the square, torches are set in iron brackets, their flames wavering with the night breeze. They burn low now, their light not demanding but tender, a reminder that safety lingers even as darkness grows. The flames flicker against the stone walls, making them glow like warm embers. For a moment, you imagine you're standing inside a hearth. Sheltered and cared for, the market square transformed into a chamber of peace. As you linger, you recall how medieval markets were more than places of trade, they were centers of connection. Not only goods, but stories passed through these squares. News traveled from village to village, carried on the breath of merchants and travelers. Perhaps these very stones once held words of distant lands, tales of harvests and journeys, prayers and songs. Tonight, those voices are quiet. Yet you can almost feel their echoes in the air like threads of memory woven into the night. Somewhere nearby, a wooden shutter creaks, followed by the faint thump of it closing. The sound is comforting, not jarring, like the closing of a book after the last page has been read. It reminds you that the day has ended, and now is the time to rest. The torchlight continues to sway, the fountain continues to sing, and you feel yourself swaying, to your body and breath moving with the gentle rhythm of the night. The fountain's voice lingers behind you as you step gently back into the winding streets. The cobblestones feel smoother here, as though countless feet over centuries have polished them into a kind of memory. Every step carries you deeper into the calm, as though the market itself is guiding you, taking your hand and leading you through its quiet story. A breeze stirs, subtle yet steady, weaving its way between the houses. It carries the faint aroma of baked bread, still clinging to the air, mingled with the sharper note of herbs hanging from eaves. Perhaps thyme or rosemary or lavender scents that in ancient times were as much protection as they were flavor, believed to ward away illness or misfortune. Tonight they are simply comfort. The wind lifts them like whispers and lays them gently across your senses, soothing, grounding, familiar. You come upon a row of wooden carts pulled against a wall, their wheels tucked and resting. Once they rattled through the streets, their axles groaning under the weight of goods, their drivers calling out to buyers. Now they stand silent, their presence softened by dusk. One cart bears a scattering of hay, another the faint smell of apples, though no fruit remains. These remnants are like the last threads of a story told earlier, lingering for you to find, gentle and unhurried. Somewhere above, a bird calls just a single note, then silence again. It feels like a reminder that life continues even in stillness. You pause, listening, and the silence that follows is even more profound, as though the world itself has leaned closer, hushed and waiting. The buildings here stand tall, their timber frames etched against the sky. Their windows are dark, their shutters firmly closed. Yet you sense no loneliness in their stillness. Instead, they seem to cradle the quiet, as though the market's rest is their gift to you. Each wall, each roof, seems to say, "Be still, be safe. This night belongs to you." Ahead, the street bends, and you see another lantern swinging gently in the breeze. Its glow is faint, golden, fragile. It is enough to guide you forward, enough to remind you that in darkness, even the smallest light can be a comfort. You move toward it slowly, each step a lull, each breath a song of rest. The lantern sways softly, its flame bowing and rising like a dancer in rhythm with the breeze. You approach it slowly, and as you do, the world feels more hushed, more tender, as though the night itself is aware of your presence. The glow spills over the cobblestones, painting them with uneven patches of light and shadow, as if the ground itself were dreaming. You pause beneath it, letting the flickering warmth touch your face. For a moment you close your eyes, and you can almost imagine the voices of merchants long gone, their greetings, their bargains, their laughter. The light becomes a thread connecting you to those who once stood in this very place, reminding you that you are part of a story too vast to measure. Yet instead of feeling heavy, it feels comforting, like being wrapped in a blanket woven from countless memories. Beyond the lantern, the street widens again into a smaller square. Here, the remains of the day linger in faint traces. A basket forgotten against a wall, a wooden bench, worn smooth by countless hands and countless evenings, just like this one. You sit upon the bench for a moment, letting the night gather around you. The air feels cooler here, the kind of cool that invites you to rest, to surrender, to drift. From somewhere nearby comes the gentle clink of a distant bell. Perhaps it is tied around the neck of a sheep or goat in a nearby pen, or perhaps it is a church bell far off, calling the night to settle. The sound is soft, rhythmic, patient. Each ring seems to slow your thoughts, each pause between them widening into a gentle silence that cradles you. Medieval markets often close with such sounds, bells marking the end of trade, signaling that rest had come at last. And in this moment, you feel that same invitation. Not as a command, but as a gift. A gentle hand upon your shoulder, guiding you toward stillness. The square feels timeless. The shutters closed, the torches low, the fountains whisper just barely reaching you. You sit quietly, watching the lanterns sway, and realize that all the world seems to be breathing with you, slow, steady, calm. The bench beneath you feels worn, yet strong, its wood carrying the memory of countless evenings. You run your fingers gently along its surface, tracing grooves and smooth patches, as if reading a story carved not in ink, but in time. Each mark tells of those who came before, who rested as you do now, who found a moment of peace beneath the lantern's glow. Above, the sky deepens into a velvety expanse. Stars emerge in quiet clusters, their shimmer delicate, steady. One by one, they reveal themselves until the heavens feel alive, a canopy of light watching over the quiet market. Their glow reflects faintly on the cobblestones, turning the path into a river of silver. For a moment, you imagine yourself drifting along that river, carried by the current of night, weightless and free. A shutter creaks open briefly, and from within comes the faintest glow of firelight, your laughter soft, muffled, carried on the breeze before the shutter eases closed again. The sound lingers, like a fading echo, a reminder that even in rest, life hums gently on. The market, though hushed, is not empty. It is alive in quiet ways, in the hush of voices, in the flicker of fire, in the rhythm of breathing shared by all who dwell here. You rise from the bench and walk slowly across the square. The faint scent of beeswax drifts from a nearby stall, its candles packed away, but their fragrance still lingering. It mixes with the earthy aroma of wood and stone, and together they form a fragrance that feels grounding, steadying like a hearth that warms without flame. Your footsteps bring you past the fountain once more. Its trickling song is softer now, as though even the water has lowered its voice to match the night's tone. You lean closer, listening, and feel your breath fall into rhythm with it. Inhale with the rise, exhale with the fall. The water teaches you to rest, to flow, to let go. Beyond the fountain, a narrow alley beckons, dim and inviting. A single torch burns low at its entrance, casting a circle of golden light on the stones. You step toward it, knowing that the alley will hold its own secrets, its own softness, its own invitation to dream. The bench beneath you feels worn, yet strong, its wood carrying the memory of countless evenings. You run your fingers gently along its surface, tracing grooves and smooth patches, as if reading a story carved not in ink, but in time. Each mark tells of those who came before, who rested as you do now, who found a moment of peace beneath the lantern's glow. Above, the sky deepens into a velvety expanse. Stars emerge in quiet clusters, their shimmer delicate, steady. One by one, they reveal themselves until the heavens feel alive, a canopy of light watching over the quiet market. Their glow reflects faintly on the cobblestones, turning the path into a river of silver. For a moment, you imagine yourself drifting along that river, carried by the current of night, weightless and free. A shutter creaks open briefly, and from within comes the faintest glow of firelight. You hear laughter, soft, muffled, carried on the breeze before the shutter eases closed again. The sound lingers, like a fading echo, a reminder that even in rest, life hums gently on. The market, though hushed, is not empty. It is alive in quiet ways, in the hush of voices, in the flicker of fire, in the rhythm of breathing shared by all who dwell here. Yes. You rise from the bench and walk slowly across the square. The faint scent of beeswax drifts from a nearby stall, its candles packed away, but their fragrance still lingering. It mixes with the earthy aroma of wood and stone. Together they form a fragrance that feels grounding, steadying, like a hearth that warms without flame. Your footsteps bring you past the fountain once more. Its trickling song is softer now, as though even the water has lowered its voice to match the night's tone. You lean closer, listening, and feel your breath fall into rhythm with Itternale. With the rise, exhale with the fall. The water teaches you to rest, to flow, to let go. Beyond the fountain, a narrow alley beckons, dim and inviting. A single torch burns low at its entrance, casting a circle of golden light on the stones. You step toward it, knowing that the alley will hold its own secrets, its own softness, its own invitation to dream. The alley welcomes you with shadows that feel gentle, not foreboding. The walls rise close on either side, their stone surfaces cool and steady, carrying the faint scent of moss and earth. Your footsteps sound softer here, muffled by the narrow passage, as though the night itself has drawn closer to listen. Each step is like a note in a slow song, measured, tender, unhurried. The torch at the entrance flickers behind you, its glow shrinking as you move further in. Ahead, moonlight spills across the stones through an opening above, just enough to guide your way. The silvery light creates patterns, weaving across the cobblestones like delicate lace, inviting you to follow their path deeper into the calm. A wooden door rests along one wall, its iron latch catching the faint light. Now, from behind it drifts the faintest melody, a single voice humming low, almost a whisper. A lullaby sung to a child, or perhaps a song hummed for oneself at the end of a long day. The sound wraps around you, and though you do not know the words, you understand the feeling: comfort, safety, and release. The voice continues softly, then fades, leaving silence more profound than before. You move further, and the alley opens onto a small courtyard hidden between the houses. Here, vines climb the walls, their leaves rustling lightly in the night breeze. The air smells of damp earth and growing things, cool and rich. In one corner, a stack of firewood rests neatly, waiting for tomorrow. In another, a clay jug tilts slightly, forgotten in the day's bustle, but serene now in the night's embrace. At the center of the courtyard, a single lantern glows. Its flame is steady, protected by glass, and its light pools outward in a circle of gold. The glow illuminates a low wooden table and two stools, empty now, yet inviting. You imagine them filled in daylight by merchants sharing a meal, by travelers trading stories, by neighbors leaning close in laughter. Tonight they wait silently, holding space for peace. The courtyard feels like a secret kept just for you, a pocket of stillness hidden within the market's heart. The vines sway gently, the lantern flickers steadily, and your breath falls into harmony with the quiet night. You step slowly into the courtyard, each movement deliberate, savoring the calm that surrounds you. The cobblestones here are worn smooth, their edges softened by countless footsteps over many years. Your feet sink slightly into the night, as if the stones themselves are welcoming you, embracing you in their quiet permanence. The lantern at the center casts a warm circle of light, and in it, shadows dance gently. They sway with the flame, stretching across the courtyard walls, twisting like slow dancers in a rhythm only the night understands. The movement is soft, mesmerizing, a gentle invitation for your mind to follow and release every lingering thought. A soft breeze drifts through the courtyard, brushing against your cheeks and carrying with it the faint fragrance of night-blooming flowers tucked between the vines. Jasmine, perhaps, and honeysuckle mingled with the earthiness of damp stone. Each inhalation draws you deeper into the serenity of this moment. Each exhale a gentle letting go of any tension or worry. From somewhere beyond, you hear the distant drip of water, perhaps from a tiny fountain hidden behind the vines, or a leaking gutter. The sound is delicate, rhythmic, like a slow metronome set to the pace of night. It seems to echo the beat of your heart, steady and calm, and with each pulse, you feel yourself merging further with the quiet world around you. Along the courtyard walls, you notice small details: the rough texture of stone, the delicate veins of leaves, the curve of a clay pot sitting patiently in shadow. Each element tells its own silent story, inviting you to observe without urgency, to breathe without thought, to exist without effort. The night feels alive in its gentleness. Each sound, each flicker of light, each scent is a thread woven into the tapestry of the market at dusk. You are not rushing. You are not searching. You are simply here, held by the stillness, embraced by the calm, and rocked softly into a state of peaceful rest. As you settle into the courtyard's quiet, you feel the lullaby of the market. The whisper of torches, the ripple of water, and the sway of leaves all blending into a melody meant only for you. And in this melody, you are free to close your eyes and let sleep gather you in its gentle, endless embrace. You linger in the courtyard, allowing yourself to sink fully into the serenity around you. The lantern continues to glow, steady and comforting, its warmth radiating outward like the gentle pulse of a heartbeat. Shadows sway softly on the walls, twisting and elongating, as if the night itself were dancing in quiet celebration. Above, the sky has darkened further, a deep indigo scattered with stars that shimmer like distant lanterns. Each one seems patient, watching over the silent market, reflecting on the centuries that have passed beneath them. You tilt your head back, letting the stars' calm wash over you, and feel a sense of timelessness settle into your bones. The courtyard's walls are cool to the touch, smooth in some places and rough in others, each stone holding memories of generations. You imagine children playing here in the daytime, their laughter ringing off the walls, merchants calling softly from nearby stalls. It's the clink of coins and the whisper of secrets shared. All of it is hushed, held tenderly in the embrace of night. A gentle rustle drifts through the vines overhead. Leaves shift softly in the breeze, creating a delicate, natural percussion that blends seamlessly with the faint trickle of water from a hidden fountain. It is a symphony of calm, one that encourages your thoughts to drift like leaves on the wind. You allow yourself to float with them, untethered, weightless, embraced by quiet. Near the edges of the courtyard, you notice a small wooden door, half hidden by ivy. Though it remains closed, it seems to promise further secrets, hidden corners where the night has paused to rest. Spaces waiting to be discovered by those who move slowly, carefully, reverently. You feel the invitation, not to hurry, but to wander gently, to breathe deeply, to listen intently. Each inhale draws the sense of night closer. The faint sweetness of flowers, the earthy richness of stone and soil, the subtle warmth of wood from the lantern's frame. Each exhale releases any lingering tension, each breath guiding you closer to rest. In this courtyard, at the heart of the market, the world feels suspended, balanced perfectly between day and night. The stillness is alive and you are part of it. The market sings its lullaby quietly, tenderly for you, inviting your body, mind, and spirit to drift deeper into peaceful sleep. The courtyard feels like a hidden sanctuary, a small world tucked within the larger market. You walk slowly toward the center, where the lantern's glow touches the stones with warmth and light. Every step feels deliberate, measured, as though the night itself is guiding your pace. The air is soft around you, carrying a gentle hush that wraps your body like a protective cloak. Above, the stars shine steadily, their cool light contrasting with the lantern's golden warmth. You tilt your head, gazing upward, and feel the vastness of the sky mingling with the intimacy of the courtyard. It is a place where worlds meet, the expansive and the enclosed, the eternal and the momentary. The night reminds you that you belong to both, that you are safe here, floating between these layers of time and space. The fountain continues its quiet melody. Its water glides over smooth stones, creating ripples that catch both moonlight and shadow. The sound is hypnotic, steady, rhythmic-like, the slow rise and fall of your own breath. You pause beside it, letting the gentle movement of water soothe your senses. Each drop seems to whisper reassurance. All is calm, all is well, all is resting. You notice the ivy on the courtyard walls swaying slightly in the breeze. Its rustle is soft, like a whisper meant only for you. You listen closely, and the leaves seem to speak in a language older than words. They tell you that the market has always been a place of life and connection, of stories shared and secrets held. And tonight, those stories fold into the quiet, offering a lullaby just for you. A small wooden bench catches your eye, tucked under a vine-laden archway. You move toward it and settle down, feeling its smooth, cool surface beneath you. Your body relaxes immediately, supported, cradled by both wood and night. Take a slow, deep breath, filling your lungs with the scents of the courtyard, the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers, the earthy richness of stone, the subtle warmth from the lantern. The world seems to hum softly around you, a gentle vibration that resonates with your heartbeat. Every sound, every scent, every flicker of light encourages your mind to drift. The market at dusk has become a sanctuary, a lullaby, a safe harbor. And here in this timeless space, you allow yourself to be carried gently into sleep. You settle into the bench beneath the vine-covered archway, feeling its gentle support. The courtyard hums quietly around you, a symphony of night sounds that cradle your body and mind. Each inhale draws in the soft fragrances of stone, flowers, and earth. Each exhale releases any tension, any worry, letting it drift away on the night air. Above, stars shimmer steadily, tiny points of light against the deep indigo sky. Their calm brilliance invites your gaze to linger, inviting your thoughts to drift upward, to float among the infinite expanse. The sky seems to whisper softly that you are safe, that you are seen, that you are part of this gentle universe of quiet moments. From a nearby alley, the faint sound of footsteps reaches you, soft and measured. They are distant enough to not disturb, yet close enough to remind you that life continues gently around the market. Perhaps it is a merchant closing up a hidden stall, a traveler returning to a resting place, or simply the echo of memory carried through time. The sound blends seamlessly with the fountain's soft trickle, the lantern's warm glow, and the rustling leaves, forming a lullaby that rocks you steadily toward rest. The fountain catches your attention once more, its water spirals over the stones, light rippling across each surface, casting reflections that shimmer like liquid gold. You imagine the centuries of markets it has witnessed, stories traded, deals made, laughter shared, tears shed. Now it is here just for you, a gentle, constant presence in this serene night. The courtyard's walls rise around you, textured with ivy and stone. They seem alive in the quiet, breathing slowly, holding every secret and every memory in their silent strength. Leaning against the bench, you feel yourself supported by their presence too. They are steady, unchanging, eternal, and they welcome you to rest within their calm. A faint breeze moves through the courtyard, carrying the whisper of night-blooming flowers. Jasmine and honeysuckle mix subtly with the scent of the stone and earth, creating a perfume that lulls your mind into a softer rhythm. With each breath, your thoughts grow quieter, your body heavier, your heart steady, until all that remains is calm, deep, and endless stillness. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the courtyard's gentle symphony embrace you. The flickering lantern casts a halo of warm light over your closed lids, while the fountain hums softly in the background. Each drop of water seems to mark time, not in hours or minutes, but in the rhythm of peace, reminding you that now is the only moment that matters. A vine overhead sways slightly, and the rustle of its leaves blends with the distant murmur of other parts of the market. You imagine the shutters closing in hidden homes, the torches flickering low, the alleyways settling into sleep. Every sound is soft, distant, a gentle layer in the lullaby of the night. You are carried in it, weightless and calm. The stars above shimmer faintly, casting silver light across the courtyard. It reflects in tiny puddles gathered in the uneven stones, like miniature mirrors holding fragments of sky. You bend slightly, observing one of these small pools, and for a moment the reflection of your own face appears. Calm, relaxed, serene. It smiles softly, reminding you that rest is not just a destination, it is a journey, and you are already partway there. From nearby, a wooden shutter creaks open just slightly, revealing a glimmer of candlelight. A figure, perhaps a merchant or a neighbor, moves quietly within, tending to some small task before resting. Their movements are deliberate, unhurried, gentle. You watch them, and though you are separate, a sense of shared stillness settles between you. The night binds all of you together in its soft, protective embrace. A gentle breeze moves through the courtyard, bringing with it the faintest hint of lavender and sage. It swirls around you, brushing against your face and settling your shoulders. Every inhale draws in the fragrance. Every exhale releases lingering tension. You feel lighter, freer, as though the courtyard itself is breathing you into calmness. The lantern flickers once, twice, and then steadies again.
Ow.
Shadows sway softly across the walls, wrapping the courtyard in a comforting rhythm. You lean back on the bench, eyes closed, listening to the symphony of night. The fountain, the leaves, the distant shuffle of footsteps, and the whispering breeze. Each element blends together, guiding your mind gently towards sleep, deeper and deeper into serene rest. You remain seated on the bench, your body settling fully into its support. The courtyard embraces you like a gentle hand, steady and warm. The fountain's soft ripple continues its lullaby, each drop a whisper of calm that seeps into your mind. You notice the way the lantern light brushes against your cheeks, soft and golden, like a gentle caress that eases every thought and every worry. The night feels alive in its stillness. Somewhere high above, a small owl calls softly, its voice blending seamlessly with the rustle of leaves and the quiet trickle of water. Its song does not startle, but instead invites a sense of calm alertness, a gentle awareness that all is well. You breathe in rhythm with the sounds, each inhale expanding serenity, each exhale releasing tension into the earth beneath you. The ivy overhead sways slowly, casting moving patterns on the cobblestones. The shadows stretch and fold, shifting in ways that feel almost like breathing. You imagine the countless nights these walls have witnessed, each one unique, yet each one sharing the same quiet magic. And now, this night, this courtyard, belongs to you alone. A private world of peace tucked within the heart of the market. The air carries a subtle sweetness, the faint scent of night-blooming flowers, mingled with the earthy aroma of stone and damp wood. Each breath you take fills your chest with calm, grounding you further, pulling you gently away from any lingering thoughts of the day. Time seems to slow, stretching into a rhythm that matches your own heart, your own gentle breathing, your own quiet pulse. Across the courtyard, the small wooden door remains closed, yet it seems to hold a presence, the promise of more quiet spaces. More secrets of the night waiting to be discovered. You sense that, in its silence, lies the continuation of stories, whispered only to those who walk slowly, listen closely, and breathe deeply. And so you remain seated, breathing, listening. Each flicker of light, each rustle of leaves, each soft note of water carries you deeper into a state of rest. The market, the courtyard, the night itself hold you, protect you, and lull you towards sleep. The world feels tender, endless, and safe, inviting you to drift further into peace with each gentle heartbeat. The courtyard seems to breathe alongside you, steady and unhurried. You notice how the lantern's flame reflects in tiny cracks and crevices of the stone, illuminating hidden textures and gentle imperfections. Each shadow, each flicker, is a subtle reminder that this place is alive, though quiet, and that life does not always need noise to exist fully. A soft rustle of leaves overhead draws your attention upward. The wind moves slowly, just enough to sway the ivy, and you watch as each leaf dances delicately in the lantern's glow. It feels like the night itself is performing for you. Private ballet of shadows and soft light, a rhythm meant to ease your mind and lull your spirit. From the corner of the courtyard, the fountain's water calls to you again, its soft trickle, steady and hypnotic. You imagine that each drop contains a story from centuries past, a whisper of a merchant's laughter, a child's fleeting footsteps, a traveler's quiet sigh. Each sound falls over you like gentle rain, washing away the weight of the day and replacing it with serenity, a calm that is patient and enduring. The stars above twinkle faintly, scattered across the indigo sky. Their light seems distant, yet intimate, as though they are quietly observing. Watching over the market and its hidden courtyard, you tilt your head back, taking in their steady glow, and allow your thoughts to drift upward, following their soft, shimmering paths. With every breath, you feel yourself rising slightly, weightless, suspended in the gentle embrace of night. The scent of night-blooming flowers drifts closer, subtle and sweet, mingling with the earthy aroma of the stone beneath your feet. Jasmine, honeysuckle, perhaps even the faintest hint of lavender all combined to soothe and calm. Each inhalation deepens your relaxation. Each exhale releases what little tension remains. You glance at the wooden bench you've been resting on. Its surface is cool but welcoming, solid beneath your weight, cradling you comfortably. Leaning back, you close your eyes and listen to the symphony around you, the fountain, the leaves, the distant steps, the whispers of the night. Each sound blends together into a continuous lullaby, carrying you further into peaceful rest. You remain settled on the bench, your body sinking comfortably into its support. The courtyard wraps around you like a soft, protective blanket, holding you in stillness. The lantern's warm glow paints gentle patterns on the stones, flickering slightly as if breathing with the night. Each pulse of light feels like a quiet heartbeat, steady, comforting, and reassuring. The fountain's whisper continues, its soft trickle a metronome for your thoughts. You imagine the water traveling from some distant source, moving over rocks and stones for countless days before arriving here. Its journey is gentle, patient, unhurried, an invitation for you to move slowly as well, to let go of any urgency or concern. Each drop of water seems to wash over your mind, clearing space for calm and ease. The ivy overhead sways gently in the night breeze, casting delicate moving shadows across the courtyard walls. You watch them for a moment, mesmerized by their slow, hypnotic dance. The leaves brush lightly against one another, creating a soft, whispering sound. It feels almost like a conversation, a lullaby in a language older than words, reminding you that even silence can be full of life. From somewhere beyond the courtyard comes a distant murmur of life's soft footsteps on cobblestones, the faint clink of a lantern swinging, perhaps a door closing. Each sound is faint and measured, adding layers to the night's quiet symphony. You listen carefully, allowing every subtle note to guide you deeper into relaxation. The night air carries the subtle perfume of flowers, mingled with the earthy scent of stone and wood. Jasmine, honeysuckle, and the faintest trace of lavender drift around you, wrapping you in their soothing embrace. Each inhalation brings calm. Each exhalation releases any remaining tension. You feel lighter, freer, weightless in the gentle night. The stars above twinkle faintly, small points of light against the deep blue-black sky. Their steady shimmer reminds you of the continuity of the world, the rhythm of days and nights, the cycle of life, the constancy of calm. You lean back further on the bench, close your eyes, and let the lullaby of the market at dusk carry you gently toward rest, deeper and deeper into peaceful, endless sleep. You settle deeper into the bench, feeling the gentle support of wood beneath you. The courtyard around you remains a haven of calm, with the lantern casting soft, protective light that wraps around the stones and walls. Shadows sway gently, moving in quiet harmony with the flickering flame, their rhythms slow and unhurried. Above, the sky deepens further into a velvet indigo. Stars glimmer faintly, scattered like delicate gems. You allow your gaze to linger on them, imagining each one as a small guide, leading you further into tranquility. The world above is vast, yet it feels intimate, a gentle embrace that stretches infinitely, holding both you and the quiet market in its tender expanse. The fountain's water continues its soft, rhythmic song. The gentle ripples reflect the lantern's light in tiny, shimmering patterns. Each drop seems to carry a whisper from the past, a story of a merchant, a traveler, a child. Though you do not hear the words, you feel the meaning. Life persists quietly, beautifully, patiently. The sound resonates with your own heartbeat, steadying and calm, a gentle guide into stillness. A soft breeze drifts through the courtyard, swaying the ivy overhead and rustling the leaves. The sound is delicate, almost like a whisper, weaving seamlessly with the fountain's gentle melody. The air carries subtle fragrances, the the sweet aroma of night-blooming flowers mingled with the earthy scent of stone and wood. Each breath draws in serenity. Each exhale releases any remaining tension. You notice a small clay pot resting near the fountain, its surface cool to the touch. It is simple, unassuming, yet perfect in its stillness. You imagine it holding water for travelers, or flowers for the night, a small gesture of care and constancy. This quiet presence, like every element of the courtyard, contributes to the lullaby of the market at dusk. The distant sound of shutters closing and footsteps fading adds another layer to the night's gentle symphony. Each sound is soft, protective, inviting your mind to relax further. You lean back fully on the bench, surrendering to the calm, letting the courtyard, the fountain, the lantern, and the night itself carry you gently into a state of deep, peaceful rest. You remain seated on the bench, letting your body sink fully into its support. The courtyard has become a sanctuary, a small world tucked within the quiet heart of the market. The lantern glows steadily, its golden light spilling over the stones, creating gentle pools of warmth that invite your mind to drift. Above, the sky is a deep, serene indigo. Stars shimmer softly, each one a delicate pinprick of calm that stretches infinitely into the distance. You follow their faint light with your thoughts, imagining them like soft, floating lanterns guiding you ever deeper into serenity. Each blink, each flicker of light feels like a gentle reminder that the night holds you safely, tenderly, endlessly. The fountain continues its subtle melody, water gliding over stone in a rhythmic, hypnotic flow. Each drop carries a soft echo of the past conversation's footsteps, laughter all now blended into the quiet symphony of the evening. You listen closely, letting each sound move through you, settling your thoughts and easing your mind into a peaceful rhythm. The ivy overhead sways gently in the night breeze. Leaves brush softly against each other, creating a whispering sound that weaves seamlessly with the trickling water. You feel a sense of connection with the courtyard, as though the walls, the stones, the plants, even the flickering lantern are all alive, breathing slowly and harmoniously alongside you. The air is infused with the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers, mingled with the earthiness of stone and wood. Jasmine, honeysuckle, and a hint of lavender drift around you, their fragrance wrapping you in a gentle, calming embrace. With each inhale, serenity fills your chest. With each exhale, tension dissolves into the night. In the distance, the faint closing of shutters and the soft echo of footsteps remind you that the market has settled into its nocturnal rhythm. The sounds are distant, delicate, like part of a lullaby composed just for this quiet hour. You lean back on the bench, eyes closed, and feel the courtyard's gentle lullaby wrap around you completely, guiding your body, mind, and spirit into a state of deep, restorative rest. The courtyard seems to breathe with you now, each inhalation and exhalation in perfect harmony with the quiet rhythm of night. The lantern's flame dances gently, painting warm, soft shadows across the walls and cobblestones, its light steady yet alive. Every flicker feels like a heartbeat, pulsing with calm and inviting you to let go completely. Above, the sky stretches endlessly, deep indigo, dotted with tiny shimmering stars. Their gentle light falls on the courtyard like a tender whisper, a reminder that the universe holds a quiet, patient rhythm. You imagine each star as a guardian, watching over the market, the courtyard, and you, keeping all safe and serene. The fountain's trickle continues, its water weaving a lullaby that settles deep into your mind. You follow its gentle flow, imagining the journey of each drop from distant streams to hidden rivers. Winding across the land before reaching this peaceful courtyard, the water's soft song resonates with your heartbeat, slow and steady, easing every tension, guiding you into a deeper state of calm. The ivy above sways with the soft evening breeze, leaves brushing together in a subtle, harmonious whisper. Each movement adds another layer to the symphony of night, blending with the fountain's melody and the distant sound of footsteps fading into silence. The courtyard feels alive yet still, a space where time pauses, inviting you to exist fully in this gentle moment. A faint floral fragrance drifts through the air, sweet yet soft, a combination of jasmine, honeysuckle, and the delicate hint of lavender. Each breath draws the scent closer, wrapping around your senses, soothing every muscle, calming every thought. With every exhale, you release the weight of the day, letting it drift away on the night breeze. You notice the small wooden bench beneath you, solid and comforting, holding you gently. The courtyard surrounds you with warmth, security, and serenity. Every element, the lantern, the fountain, the ivy, the stars, the soft breeze joins together in a delicate harmony, a lullaby composed by the night itself. You lean back, eyes closed, and let the gentle rhythm carry you deeper, surrendering fully to the peaceful embrace of sleep. You remain seated on the bench, letting your body and mind melt into the serene embrace of the courtyard. The lantern's gentle glow wraps around you like a soft, warm blanket, painting golden edges on the stone and creating shadows that dance lazily along the walls. Each flicker seems to pulse with a rhythm that mirrors your own heartbeat, steady, slow, and calming. The fountain's water continues to flow with hypnotic consistency. Its trickle carries the soft music of the night, a sound both ancient and timeless. You imagine each drop whispering tales of the market, of people who once walked these stones, of stories that have folded into the quiet of the evening. The rhythm of water and your breathing intertwine, creating a serene cadence that guides you toward rest. The ivy sways gently overhead, casting playful, elongated shadows on the cobblestones. The rustle of the leaves is subtle, almost like a soft conversation between friends who speak only in whispers. You listen closely, and the sound becomes part of the lullaby of the courtyard. Another layer of comfort and calm that encourages your mind to drift further into tranquility. Above, the night sky stretches endlessly. Stars shimmer faintly, scattered like tiny candles in a vast cathedral. Their soft glow reflects in the puddles along the stones, multiplying the light and creating a delicate shimmer that dances at your feet. You feel suspended in this gentle, infinite space, weightless and serene, as though the entire universe has slowed to cradle you in its quiet. The air carries the subtle fragrance of flowers and earth. It's a blend of jasmine, honeysuckle, and the faintest touch of lavender. Each inhalation draws in calm and serenity. Each exhalation releases lingering thoughts, worries, and tensions. You feel lighter with every breath, as though the courtyard itself is guiding you into deeper peace. The faint sounds of the distant market shutters closing, the door softly clicking, the faintest echo of footsteps drift to you like gentle whispers. They are part of the nocturnal lullaby, a reminder of life's continuity and the comforting steadiness of the world. You lean back fully on the bench, eyes closed, and allow every gentle sound, every flicker of light, every whisper of the night to carry you into the deepest, most restful sleep imaginable. You remain nestled on the bench, fully embraced by the calm of the courtyard. The lantern's glow steadies, a constant golden presence casting gentle warmth across the stones. Shadows stretch and sway slowly, like a soft lullaby written in light and darkness. You feel the rhythm of the night, steady and unhurried, moving in perfect harmony with your own breath. Above, the stars shine quietly, each one a distant yet intimate light. Their gentle sparkle seems to breathe along with you, offering reassurance, comfort, and a serene sense of continuity. The sky feels infinite, but in this courtyard you feel protected, small, and deeply connected to the universe at once. Every inhale draws peace in. Every exhale releases all tension, leaving only softness and stillness. The fountain continues its gentle, hypnotic song. Each droplet falls with the ease of centuries, echoing softly across the courtyard. You imagine the water's journey over stones, through hidden channels, past unseen corners, finally arriving here to cradle you in calm. Its sound blends with the rustling leaves, the faint echo of distant shutters, and the whisper of night air, forming a perfect lullaby meant solely for you. The ivy above sways gently, brushing against itself in delicate whispers. The movement is almost imperceptible, yet profoundly soothing. You notice how each shadow shifts, how every stone and flower seems to hold its breath in respect for the night. Even the smallest details, the curve of a leaf, the texture of stone, the tilt of a clay pot, become part of a symphony of calm, drawing your mind further into stillness. A soft floral fragrance drifts around you, a gentle mixture of jasmine, honeysuckle, and the faintest touch of lavender. Each inhalation sinks into your chest, spreading warmth and ease. Each exhale releases lingering thoughts and worries, letting them dissolve into the night. Your body feels lighter, your mind quieter, and your spirit embraced by the gentle rhythm of the market at dusk. You lean back fully on the bench, surrendering completely to the tranquility. The courtyard, the lantern, the fountain, the ivy, the stars, and the night itself cradle you gently, rocking you into a peaceful, endless sleep. The world around you whispers, "Rest now. All is calm, all is well." And in that moment, you drift, fully surrendered into the deepest, most serene sleep imaginable, held tenderly by the market at dusk.